ब्राह्मणेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we will continue from where we left off last time. Anyone remembers where we were? Huh? Yeah. So what did we learn from that last week's class? Anyone remembers? Where we stopped? क्या 16 पे आके हम रुक गए थे? No one remembers? कृष्ण को बोले ना, अर्जुन ने क्या कहा कृष्ण को? रथ लेके मुझे बताओ. So we stopped at the point where Krishna is bringing the rath in front of the two armies. Now Krishna is also very what to say. वो क्या करते हैं? रथ को ऐसे स्ट्रेटेजिक जगह पे जाते हैं ताकि जब अर्जुन देखे तो कौन दिखेगा? द्रोणा, भीष्म and his elders, कृपाचार्य. तो वो देख के अर्जुन is becoming very bewildered. वो अचंभित हो जाते हैं. और हम ये जो सेक्शन है from up till 46 हम 5 कारण देखेंगे why Arjun refused to fight. So this section will be covering the 5 reasons why Arjuna refused to fight the war. So I will go shloka by shloka. Okay, so the 26th verse says, तत्र पश्यास्थितान् पार्थ पितॄन् अथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि. Now अर्जुन क्या देख रहे हैं? उसके संबंधियों को देख रहे हैं. और कौन कौन है वहाँ पे? He is seeing his father, मतलब भीष्म पितामह को देख रहे हैं. उसके ग्रैंडफादर्स को देख रहे हैं. उनके जो गुरुजन हैं उनको देख रहे हैं. उनके जो भाई हैं उनको देख रहे हैं. जो सखा है इन सबको देख रहे हो. सो जस्ट फॉर अ मोमेंट जस्ट इमेजिन हाउ द सिचुएशन इज. 2 विशाल आर्मी है, उसके बीच में अर्जुन का रथ है. कृष्ण बैठे हैं, सारथी है. और कृष्ण अर्जुन को बोल रहे देखो अर्जुन अब ये सिचुएशन है. तो वो आप पढ़ लेना उसमें. जस्ट गो थ्रू द पर्पस दैट प्रभुपाद इज मेंशनिंग कौन कौन उनके मतलब अर्जुन को दिखाई दे रहे हैं. भूरिश्रवा है, पितामह है, द्रोणाचार्य है, ऐसे कई लोग हैं. और अब अर्जुन उनको देख के क्या हो रहा है, उनकी स्थिति क्या हो रही है? तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेय सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन् इदम् अब्रवीत्. इज वेरी डिस्पॉन्डेंट. अर्जुन का बहुत बहुत दुखी हो जाते हैं वो और भगवान से वो बोलने लगते हैं. नाउ अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्णायुयुत्सुं समुपस्थितं सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परितुष्यति. वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते. गाण्डीवं संस्कृते हस्तान् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते. इन दिस सिचुएशन जब वो आर्मी को देखते हैं तो उनके शरीर में क्या विकार उत्पन्न होते हैं, ये 2 श्लोक में बताया गया है. Now from here onwards what we will do is we'll discuss the 5 reasons why Arjuna refused to fight. So now I won't take the shlokas, we'll go directly to the arguments of Arjuna. The first argument he gives is compassion. तो अर्जुन के मन में इन सबको देख के उनके मन में एक कंपैशन, दया, करुणा की भावना जागृत होती है। किसको देखते हैं जब वो सामने? सबसे उनके प्रिय जो पितामह है उनको सामने देखते हैं। द्रोणाचार्य को कैसे वो ये कर सकते हैं? उनके गुरु हैं, उनको देखते हैं। सो कंपैशन इज द फर्स्ट रीजन व्हाई अर्जुना डिसाइड्स दैट ही विल नॉट फाइट। सो ये आप 1.28 से लेके 30 तक ये 3 श्लोक में अर्जुना की जो कंपैशनेट मनस्थिति है उसको यहाँ पे बताया गया है। The second reason why he refuses to fight is loss of enjoyment. अब ये थोड़ा सा आपको ये आयरनी लगेगा, loss of enjoyment. हम कहते हैं sense enjoyment मत करो, but Arjuna is refusing to fight because there will be a loss of enjoyment. The third reason is fear of sinful reaction. पाप लगेगा मुझे. The fourth reason is this very important, destruction of family traditions. उनको ऐसे लगता है कि अगर ये युद्ध करूँगा मैं और सबको मार दूँगा, सब नष्ट हो जाएगा, तो मुझे पाप लगेगा. And the fifth reason is indecision. मतलब वो तय नहीं कर पाते कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है. I'll ask you a question. How many of you have faced such a situation in your life? मतलब you are faced with something very challenging and you go through all these emotions. कई बार अपने साथ हुआ होगा ना कि हमारे सामने कोई है and we are in a very bewildering situation and we don't know what is right and what is wrong. So you have to choose between two options. So now when we come to this, we'll see how Krishna is resolving this. The first chapter में there is no answer to Arjuna's bewilderment. सब second chapter में है. But the first chapter we have to understand so that when Krishna gives his reasoning of why Arjun should fight and counteracts Arjun's arguments, हमें ये समझना चाहिए कि किस कारण से अर्जुन refuse करते हैं. So as I said, compassion. अब compassion जब हम तो अर्जुन की अवस्था क्या है वहाँ पे? उसके हाथ से गांडीव उतर जा रहा है. I mean, it's slipping out of his hands. फिर उसकी जो मुखम च परिदंडी, मतलब the face is very, क्या बोलते हैं, अगर बहुत दुख है तो चेहरे पे क्या भाव आ जाता है? It sorts of dries up. It looks very dried up, pale. The third, then what emotions you feel? अर्जुन क्या कहते हैं? त्वचा परिदंडी, my skin is burning. हमें भी ये अनुभव हुआ रहेगा ना कि अगर कुछ चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन है, बहुत ही डरावना है, तो हमारे शरीर में भी हमको ये ऐसा we get that feeling ना, it's burning sensation. तो ये सारे विकार अर्जुन के अंदर भी दिखाई देते हैं. So compassion, now let's थोड़ा सा इस पे मनन करते हैं. Compassion या करुणा भाव जो है वो किसके मन में आ सकता है? Can you find compassion in a hard-hearted person? Only when there is love and when you are very soft-hearted and you see someone suffering in front of you, or you have to face a situation where you are in a very confusing state. तो अर्जुना के मन में he was a very soft-hearted person. उनका हृदय जो है वो काफी कोमल बताया गया है. और कोमल क्यों है? Why is he soft-hearted? Any comments? Why is Arjuna called as soft-hearted?
He is a devotee.
Prabhupada mentions in the purport, because he is a devotee and the devotee is naturally soft-hearted. So that is why Arjuna, the compassion that he is expressing on seeing the enemy and within the enemy, enemy के साइड में इनको सबको देखे naturally उसके मन में एक करुणा भाव उत्पन्न होती है. So Prabhupada mentions that it is because of his being a natural devotee. The second reason is Arjuna was impartial in one sense. It was not that because वो मेरे शत्रु के पक्ष में है मुझे उनको मारना चाहिए. ऐसे उसके मन में विचार नहीं था. If you see, Arjuna was, his back was towards his army. उनकी पीठ कहाँ पे थी? उनके पीठ मतलब कि his back was towards his own army and he was seeing the enemy army. और उससे भी उनको देख के इनके मन में मतलब अर्जुना के मन में आता है कि ये मेरे शत्रु हैं. He is not distinguishing, but seeing them he is feeling अरे इनको भी मारना पड़ेगा. So it was an impartial view of Arjuna that made him compassionate. दूसरा, उनको ऐसे लगता है इन सबको मारना है तो कितनी जानें गंवानी पड़ेगी एक युद्ध के लिए. So that is also causing a compassion. पर प्रभुपाद फिर पर्पट में लिखते हैं कि compassion जो है वो सही जगह पे दिखाना चाहिए. Arjuna's compassion was on the bodily level, like he was seeing his guru. But the relation was in connection with his own body. So Prabhupada mentions that it is not a proper way of expressing your compassion. Actual compassion is Kari Paropaka. Janma Sarthaka Kari Paro. And what is that Paropaka? It is to show that person his actual position towards Krishna. So that is compassion. Actual compassion, as Prabhupada mentions in the Purport, कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति भगवान से विमुख है और उनको हम भगवान की राह दिखाते हैं, we take him on the path of spiritual progress, that is actual compassion. ये bodily स्तर पर या शारीरिक स्तर पर जो अर्जुन अभी बता रहे हैं, that is not actual compassion as Prabhupada mentions. Now, if you see non-devotees also, non-devotees I mean those who are not into Krishna consciousness, उनके मन में भी कभी कभार हम देखते हैं, you see this, na? They also express compassion. But Prabhupada is very clear on this, कि when it is on a bodily level, that cannot be the actual compassion, and because non-devotees don't know what Krishna is or who Krishna is and what is devotional service, then they express their compassion on bodily शारीरिक स्तर पर, तो वो actual compassion नहीं है और उससे किसी का कुछ भला नहीं होता है इससे. Now Arjuna also mentions that I'm trembling. Now trembling also can be because of two reasons. Either it could be out of fear or it could be out of an unpredictable situation. When we are faced with such situation, we experience this. So Prabhupada here mentions Arjuna's trembling is not actually out of fear. क्षत्रिय है, डर तो होना नहीं है उनको. Now we'll see ahead what happens. So trembling can be due to spiritual ecstasy also. रोमांच कंपा श्रुतरंगा भाजो वंदे गुरु श्री चरणारविंद हम गाते हैं. कंपा can be और जो the trembling can be because you are in deep spiritual ecstasy, or trembling can be due to fear. यहाँ अर्जुन के in case of Arjun trembling, Prabhupada mentions it is because again वो शारीरिक स्तर पर देख रहे सबको, तो it is not actual because of ecstasy, तो शारीरिक स्तर पे देख रहे, so that compassion, that trembling is here. अभी compassion, when we say, can it be always a very goody? I mean, what I mean to say is, हम किसी पे करुणा दिखा रहे हैं, we are compassionate on someone, so can that expression be always on a very rosy picture? क्या बोलते हैं हम? सब कुछ अच्छा है, ठीक है. It cannot be. Can you give an example from the scriptures where actual compassion was shown, but it was not from a very, very pleasing situation? We all know this. Sorry? Yeah, I'm not actually looking for that. Nala Kuvera. What happened? Narada cursed them actually. But the cursing was for a higher purpose. And because Narada cursed, we know Damodar Leela Kavo, I'm referring to that. Narada, when he saw the sons of Kuvera frolicking in the waters of Ganges in a very inappropriate way, he curses them to become two trees, Yamalarjuna trees. But that curse की वजह से क्या हो गया? भले वो 10,000 या कितने तो साल वो नंदगांव के यशोदा नंद महाराज के आंगन में वो दो पेड़ बन के रहे, बट उसका अल्टीमेट रिजल्ट क्या था? What was the end? That the two devotees there, they saw Krishna, they saw the entire Leela, Bala Leela of Krishna. They were witness to that. And Krishna, because Narada promised, Krishna had to deliver them. तो compassion जब दिखाते हैं, it need not be always pleasant. But गुरु को पता होता है कि इसके लिए क्या अच्छा है.
Similarly, Hiranyakashipu also, God had to come down.
And that was for Prahlad.
Yeah, for Prahlad.
But that was not an unpleasant situation to show this. What I mean to say is the recipient, that is Nala Kuvera, the recipient of that compassion, that situation was not a pleasant one when Narada cursed him. So, अभी जो skeptics हैं, हम ये सब देखते हैं, तो skeptics can question कि क्या सच में अर्जुन bewildered हुए थे क्या? You know, there are so many skeptics who will keep on questioning. अर्जुन तो कृष्ण के साथ थे, तो उनके लिए bewilderment क्यों आया? तो फिर उसको प्रभुपाद इतने अच्छी तरह से हर क्वेश्चन को एक आंसर देते हैं. वो बोलते हैं नहीं, Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord. There can be no bewilderment. But उनको ये situation में इसलिए डाला गया ताकि हम जैसे लोगों को गीता का ज्ञान मिले. Otherwise, similarly, if you see Bhagavatam, why was Bhagavatam? What was the origin? What was the need for Bhagavatam? It was because Parikshit Maharaj was cursed. तो लोग पूछते परीक्षित महाराज ने ऐसा क्यों किया कि शमी उनके गले में सांप डाल दिया, मृत मतलब अ डेड स्नेक क्यों डाला? वो तो डिवोटी थे, वो ऐसी हरकत कैसे कर सकते हैं? बट इट वाज फॉर अस सो दैट भागवतम कैन कम. नहीं तो वो जो मरण मतलब द सिचुएशन व्हेन ही इज अबाउट टू क्विट हिज बॉडी, उस अवस्था में भागवतम अगर सुनेंगे तो you can go back home, back to God, and that is the goal of our life. तो कृष्णा अर्जुन को इस अवस्था में इसलिए डालते हैं ताकि गीता का प्रचार हो सके. और हम जैसे लोग जो अभी भी वो सिचुएशन को फेस करते हैं, काफ़ी हमारे जीवन में ऐसी कई अवस्थाएं आएंगी जब हमारे we will be bewildered. So what to do? We have to take shelter of these scriptures. Now going ahead, 31 to 35 is the second argument. So you understood the first argument? Clear? What was it? Compassion. How can I kill my relatives? The second argument that Arjuna gives is loss of enjoyment. मैं वो क्या करूँगा? Isn't it? What enjoyment will I get? क्यों? अगर सारे मर गए, सारे वो युद्ध में खत्म हो गए, तो मैं जो एंजॉय करूँगा या मेरी जो विक्ट्री है या मेरी जो जीत है वो कौन देखेगा? मतलब कोई रहेगा ही नहीं देखने के लिए, तो उसमें क्या? Suppose I get cleared in one of the very tough exams. If there is no one to see my success, I will not feel that much joy I would get had it been known to so many other people. You're getting my point? So अर्जुना को ये डर है कि मैं जीतूंगा, राज्य मुझे मिलेगा, मतलब युधिष्ठिर महाराज राजा बन जाएंगे, उसके बाद वो देखने के लिए रहेगा कौन? सिर्फ 5 पांडव ही रहेंगे. So there is a doubt in Arjuna's mind that even if we win the war, how can I enjoy? सब मारे जाएंगे, मेरे भीष्म पिता जाएंगे, द्रोणाचार्य जाएंगे, सारे बंधु बांधव जाएंगे, तो क्या एंजॉय करूँगा मैं? So that is this second argument. Again, Prabhupada very beautifully he clarifies in the purport कि ये सब शारीरिक स्तर पे अर्जुन देख रहे हैं कि ये मेरे गुरु हैं, ये मेरे भीष्म पितामह हैं. So that enjoyment also, these conditions what he is expressing based on bodily शारीरिक स्तर पर, it cannot be a valid argument. So when we are also हम हमारे सामने भी ऐसे कई प्रसंग आते हैं जहाँ पे हम काफी bewildered होते हैं, तो तब देखना चाहिए enjoyment किसके लिए है. Are we, is it for ourselves or is it for Krishna? So वो हमारा क्या कहते हैं, that should be the underlying principle when we are trying to express and when we are trying to solve a challenging situation. तो relationships शारीरिक स्तर पे देखा जाता है. Every time ना, I'm sorry I have to repeat this, but in every purport of these 5 arguments, Prabhupada is stressing on bodily relationship. Every argument of Arjuna is based on bodily relationship. So हर purport में Prabhupada इसको काफी stress देके बताते हैं. His argument is based on bodily conception. This is what he is arguing, which is not correct. It should be on the basis of soul. आत्मा के स्तर पर होना चाहिए, जो भी हमारे arguments में है. फिर वो क्या कहते हैं कि मेरे अपने में forget killing enemies, forget killing my own people. I cannot even kill the enemies. So his compassion again. Why should I did not even kill enemies? What to speak of my own people? ये सारे जो हैं ये मेरे अपने हैं. तो दुश्मन को तो छोड़ो, मैं दुश्मन को भी नहीं मार सकता, मैं तो इनको कैसे मारूं? और इनको मार के मुझे क्या संतुष्टि मिलेगी? So this is his second answer. First argument is loss of enjoyment. If you go through the verses now, Arjuna is using very appropriate names to address Krishna. Krishna को वो गोविंदा करके address करते हैं. Now गोविंदा का मतलब क्या है? The one who gives pleasure to the spouse and also the senses. तो अर्जुन is very subtly indicating you are Govinda. So my sense of enjoyment here, you take care of. Why should I kill them? You do that. And in that way I want to satisfy my senses. फिर प्रभुपाद उधर फिर से लिखते हैं कि गोविंदा का असली मतलब क्या है कि we should be working to give pleasure to Govinda's senses, not that Govinda should work to give pleasure to our senses. So addressing Krishna as Govinda and telling him take care is not the correct way. So we have to work in a way so that Krishna के senses को हम pleasure दे सके. We can satisfy Krishna's senses. That is why Krishna is known as Rishikesh. Rishikesh मतलब so our activities should be such that Krishna is satisfied. यहाँ अर्जुन क्या बोल रहे हैं? I don't want to do anything. You take care. आगे भी हम देखेंगे. So Arjuna addressing Krishna as Govinda is not meant that Krishna should take care of everything and Arjuna will take a back seat and not fight. On the contrary, हम देखेंगे आगे चल के भगवान कहते हैं कि लड़ो, you fight but do it as a duty to me. You do it as an offering to me. तो इस तरह से अर्जुना का ये second argument of not fighting. Going ahead, Prabhupada also mentions here that एक typical mentality यहाँ लोगों की दिखाई देते हैं. So when we are faced with situations, we want somebody else to solve it for us. We look the shortcut route. है कि नहीं? We don't want to take the trouble, we don't want to struggle, we don't want to go through that purifying process. सब हमको आराम से चाहिए. But was Arjuna in that situation? No. So we'll see that later in the later chapters how Krishna is उनको प्रेरणा देते हैं कि नहीं लड़ो तुम क्योंकि तुम क्षत्रिय हो, तुमको लड़ना ही है. And that is the typical mentality, it's showcased here. Right? When Arjuna is saying, I will not fight, loss of enjoyment. अब इसको हम थोड़ा सा अलग देखते हैं. So what happens when devotees are faced with challenging situations? हम अगर scriptures देखेंगे, whether it is Bhagavatam or any other scriptures, do you find any place या किसी डिवोटी के जीवन में आपने ऐसा देखा है कि उनका सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है? Any devotee you take in the Bhagavatam or from the scriptures, do you find any devotee not facing challenging situations? Anyone? Whether it is Dhruv Maharaj, whether it is Prahlad Maharaj, whether it is Parikshit himself, the Pandavas, why Lord Ramchandra की situation में देखिए, कृष्णा को देखिए, यशोदा मैया, the ब्रजवासीज, nobody ऐसा नहीं है कि आप भक्ति में आओगे तो आपका जीवन एकदम सरल होगा. Challenges आएंगे और इनको कैसे टैकल करना है ये हमको ये स्क्रिप्चर्स में से teaches. This is what we learn from the scriptures. It is not that challenges will not come, but how to tackle them and how to transcend them and yet keep our faith in Krishna. ये devotees बताते हैं. So that is the difference that we see between the devotees and an ordinary materialistic person. वो पीछे हट जाते हैं. The devotees take the challenge and come out successfully. कृष्णा भी उन्हीं को चूज करते हैं जो ये एक्सेप्ट करके फेस करें. So it's not that devotees don't have any issues. The solution lies in accepting the challenge, taking shelter of Krishna, and facing the challenges and going ahead. So that is the contrast we see between devotees and non-devotees when faced with the challenge. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि भगवान अर्जुन को सिर्फ क्या बोलते हैं डांटते रहते हैं या he is encouraging also. And he says in one of the shlokas, we'll see, Prabhupada mentions in the purport, these are the qualities which make Arjuna eligible to receive transcendental knowledge. अगर हम MBBS का एडमिशन लेते तो क्वालिफिकेशन क्या चाहिए? You have to have a good meet this. Without that, can you go? No. So Arjuna being selected for this is because Arjuna has these qualities to receive transcendental knowledge, and compassion is also one of them to receive knowledge. The third argument is fear of sin, simple reactions. तो हम जब कोई कार्य करते हैं तो हमको बचपन में क्या बताया गया? पाप लगेगा, ये करोगे तो पाप लगेगा, नॉनवेज खाओगे तो पाप लगेगा. क्यों पाप लगेगा? क्योंकि किसी को मार के खा रहे हैं. तो बिहाइंड एवरी एक्शन जब हम करते हैं तो उसके पीछे वो एक हमारे मतलब भारतीय संस्कृति ही ऐसी है कि कहीं ना कहीं हम सोचते हैं कि ये गलत है या सही है. ऐसे करोगे तो पाप लगेगा. बड़ों से if you argue or if you back answer your elders or if you don't listen to your elders, paap lagega. I'm sure we all have heard this. Yes or no? Yes. So Arjun ko bhi, because he is a devotee, he is a compassionate soul, he is saying कि अगर मैं इनको मारूंगा तो क्या होगा? पाप होगा. I will get sin. And वो एक डर रहता है, पाप लगेगा तो भी refrain from doing something wrong. So अर्जुन कहते हैं कि मुझे पाप लगेगा. अब again प्रभुपाद he quotes scriptures and in मनुस्मृति especially. सबने मनुस्मृति का नाम तो सुना होगा, but it would be in a wrong way, isn't it? Somebody burned the Manusmriti, we will not get into all that. But Manusmriti में ऐसे बताया गया है कि 6 तरह के जो aggressors हैं, aggressors मतलब जो आपको अटैक करते हैं या आपको harm या somebody is harming. There are 6 type of aggressors जिनको मारने से कोई भी पाप नहीं लगता. तो it's very clear in the Manusmriti. तो ये 6 aggressors कौन से हैं वो we'll just go through. The first is one who gives poison. अगर आपको कोई poison देता है उसको मारे तो आपको पाप नहीं लगता. The second is one who sets fire to your house. अगर आपके घर को या आपके जो परिवार के जो फैमिली हाउस उसको अगर आग लगाए कोई तो उसको मारने में आपको कोई पाप नहीं करता. The third is one who attacks you for with weapons. सेल्फ डिफेंस में जो कहते हैं, अगर आपको कोई अस्त्र शस्त्र से आपको कोई अटैक कर रहा हो, अगर आप उनकी हत्या करें as a matter of self defense, you will not be affected by sin. One who plunders riches. अगर आपकी संपत्ति को कोई लूट रहा है तो आप अगर उनको मारे तो आपको पाप नहीं लगता. And one who occupies your land. आपका जो जमीन है, आपका जो your लीगल प्रॉपर्टी पे अगर कोई अटैक करता है या उसको छीनने की कोशिश करता है तो उसको मारने में आपको कोई पाप नहीं लगता. एंड वन हू किडनैप्स योर वाइफ, द ग्रेटेस्ट बीइंग रामचंद्र. सो वन हू किडनैप्स योर वाइफ, अगर उसको मारे तो कोई पाप नहीं लगता. नाउ इफ यू सी ऑल these 6 aggressors पांडवों के जीवन में आया था. है कि नहीं? So let's take one by one. Poison. भीम को दिया था पॉइजन, घर को आग लगाई थी राक्षस। One who attacks you with weapons. कितने बार दुर्योधन एंड पार्टी ने अटैक किया है, युद्ध मतलब काफी टाइम किया है। One who plunders your riches. उनकी जो महाभारत वार हुआ ही क्यों? It was rightfully the property of the Pandavas and it was usurped by the Kauravas. फिर one who occupies your land. कुरुक्षेत्र भी नहीं दिया, हस्तिनापुर भी नहीं दिया, कुछ भी नहीं दिया, 5 गांव मांगे वो भी नहीं दिया। तो it was a wrongful occupation and kidnaps your wife. द्रौपदी के साथ कितने बार हो गया है, जयद्रथ, फिर वो यहाँ पे दुशासन है ना, it was equivalent to kidnapping and dishonoring her ना। तो ये 6 के 6 पांडवों के जीवन में आ गया। So there was nothing wrong if they were fighting a war based on dharma. So प्रभुपाद इसमें लिखते हैं, परपट में लिखते हैं, अब अर्जुना का जो हृदय है वो इतना कोमल है कि वो सब कुछ माफ करने के लिए भी तैयार है। He says, I'm ready to forgive them, but I don't want to indulge in this war. And they are senior to me, they are my worshipable elders. तो मैं इस पाप में भागीदार नहीं होना चाहता। So this is his third reason. Now let us see what we can learn from this. अभी 3 arguments हो गए हमारे, compassion हुआ, second क्या था, and third is power. तो इससे हम ये देखते हैं कि एक भक्त जो है वो सदैव माफ करने के लिए तैयार है, क्षमा। एंड वन ऑफ द 26 क्वालिटीज ऑफ जो भक्त के हैं उसमें से एक है क्षमा। ही इज एवर फॉरगिविंग। बट हनुमान या रामचंद्र जी ने माफ किया था, were they forgiving? Did Ramchandra forgive Ravan? Of course, he gave him so many opportunities to come and surrender. but जब नहीं हुआ तो हम सबको पता है, तो सेंटलीनेस जो है एक क्षत्रिय को शोभा नहीं देता। 17 चैप्टर में जब भगवान कहते हैं कि व्हाट आर द क्वालिटीज ऑफ अ ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, क्षत्रिय का जो his basic हाँ गुणधर्म जो है क्या है, ईश्वर भाव। he is very the leadership qualities जो बोलते हैं वो कभी वीक नहीं मान सकता। It's against his principle, against the principles of क्षत्रिय कि वो किसी के सामने हाथ नहीं फैलाएगा। He will die in a war, he will die in a battle, but he will never resort to begging. And Arjuna wants to do exactly that. I don't want to do this, I don't want to fight. I'll go to the forest and I will spend my life begging. But Krishna, second chapter में जब इसका counter argument देते हैं, कृष्ण कहते हैं, you are a क्षत्रिय, if you run away, people will laugh at you and make fun of you. कि देखो एक क्षत्रिय होके वो रणभूमि से कैसे भाग रहा है। अब अगर कृष्ण रणभूमि से भाग जाते हैं तो वो रणछोड़ हो जाते हैं। But a normal person, a kshatriya, cannot run away from a battlefield. It's dishonor, and dishonor for a kshatriya is worse than death. So this Krishna argues in the second chapter. यहाँ और एक है कि कृष्ण को, see Arjuna is also very intelligent and he's addressing, पहले तो क्या कह के संबोधन किया कृष्ण को, गोविंद, अब बोलते हैं माधव। कि ए माधव, तो माधव मीन्स द हस्बैंड ऑफ द गॉडेस ऑफ फॉर्चून, दैट इज लक्ष्मी। तो फॉर्चून के आप मतलब यू आर द पति ऑफ द गॉडेस ऑफ फॉर्चून एंड यू वांट मी टू इंडल्ज इन दिस मिसफॉर्चून ऑफ किलिंग माय एल्डर्स एंड माय you are asking me to fight this battle, whereas you are the lord of fortune, the goddess of fortune. तो आप जहाँ पे हो वहाँ पे क्या होना चाहिए? Fortune होना चाहिए. Everything should be very fortunate situation, ना very क्या कहते हैं pleasant situation. ऐसे misfortune क्यों ला रहे हो? तो again प्रभुपाद, if you read the purpose, प्रभुपाद बार बार यही जताते हैं कि माधवा हो या गोविंद हो, he is not meant to be our ordered suppliers. We have to serve his senses and attain the perfection of life. The fourth argument is that ये काफी important है, destruction of family tradition. I'll just read the verse that is from the 39th to 43. The 39th verse says, Kulakshaya pranasyanti kuladharma sanatana dharme nashte kulam vritsna adharmo abhibhavyatuta. So, Kulakshaya pranasyanti. So what Prabhupada is saying or Arjuna is saying here is, now let's see the war take place. अगर युद्ध होता है तो क्या होगा? सारे मारे जाएंगे। और युद्ध में कौन आता है? जो the elderly come ना, छोटे बच्चे तो आएंगे नहीं ना। The elderly come to fight the war. तो युद्ध होने के बाद ये सारे अगर they are killed, what will happen? You imagine the situation, आपके घर में जो बुजुर्ग है वो नहीं है, तो आप किसको अप्रोच करेंगे? अगर कोई डाउट है, कुछ ट्रेडिशंस फॉलो करने हैं आपको कुछ पता नहीं है, तो आप किसके पास जाओगे? Because we are all immature. जो बाकी बच्चे हैं वो immature. What I mean to say is, when the elderly is no longer there, then the younger generation has nobody to look upon. कोई रहेगा नहीं guidance के लिए. So that is what Kulakshaya, the dynasty, will be destroyed. So Arjuna is saying, when the elderly are killed in the battle, क्या होगा? जो family traditions हैं, अब हमको कितनों को पता है family traditions क्या है? अगर like if I'm a South Indian, so we have the, you must have all heard of the banana leaves में हम विशु हो या कोई हमारे जो ओणम हो या any festival, we have that sadhya which we eat on a banana. हर item में एक जगह है. We just cannot randomly put the items, the dishes on the plate. There is a system. मुझे तो नहीं आता. What do? I have to refer to my elders. So this is a small example that I am giving, that any tradition, if the elderly are killed, तो आप किसको पूछोगे? किसको पूछोगे कि क्या कैसे करना है? So Arjuna is afraid of that. कि अगर मेरे जो elderly है, अगर वो जाएंगे, if they are killed in the battle, where will the traditions है, हमारी जो संस्कृति है, परंपरा है, वो कैसे आगे बढ़ेगी? तो ये उनका एक डाउट है. और अगर ट्रेडिशंस रुक गए तो क्या होगा? Irreligion, dharma. Because there is nobody to guide you, you will choose the wrong way. If there is nobody to guide you, what will happen? You will go the wrong way. तो irreligion will spread, and then when irreligion spreads, women become polluted. नारी का शोषण होता है. So when we say women become polluted, it's not that, see, there will be nobody to protect the women. And see, there's a beautiful verse in the Manusmriti which says, and which is heavily misquoted. It says, Pita rakshati kaumaro, pati rakshati yauvane, पुत्रो रक्षति वार्धक्ये, न स्त्री स्वातंत्र्यम अर्हति. सुना है आपने ये? सुना है? क्या सुना है? न स्त्री स्वातंत्र्यम अर्हति. यही सुना होगा. इसके पहले का क्या है? So it's so misquoted and misinterpreted and इसका एक wrong इतना ये हो गया है. सिर्फ वो देखते हैं न स्त्री स्वातंत्र्यम अर्हति, पर उसके पहले भी कुछ कहा है कि उसको रक्षा की जरूरत है. Because she is physically weak, she is emotionally vulnerable. At every moment she is vulnerable, and therefore she has to be protected, not in a destructive way or a possessive or क्या बोलते हैं, in a authoritative way पे नहीं. She has to be protected in a very safe environment, in a healthy environment, to enable her to grow. तो वो बचपन में कौन करेगा? पिता करेंगे. यौवन में कौन करेगा? पति. और वार्धक्य में कौन करेगा? पुत्र. So she is meant to be protected because chastity of a woman is the root of a good population. आजकल के women empowerment में ये if I say this, I probably go to, there will be an uproar. But let's understand why Arjuna is saying this. It is not in a regressive way. So women, chastity, जब women को protection नहीं मिलेगा, so what happens is they are taken advantage of. They are very vulnerable. तो अगर protected नहीं है, she is not in a safe environment, then she is taken advantage of. और अगर उसका शोषण हो गया, नारी का शोषण हो गया, तो it will lead to unwanted progeny. जो बच्चे unwanted, प्रभुपद ऐसे लिखते हैं, unwanted progeny is unwanted children. So अगर एक नारी का शोषण हो रहा है and that creates in an unwanted children, तो क्या होगा बच्चे की मानसिकता पे? See, the mother did not want the child. There is nobody to protect the child as a father. So what happens? The child is affected. And this unwanted progeny gives rise to unethical, problematic children. तो next generation क्या हो गया? They are troublemakers. So where did it start? Killing of the elderly. So elderly जब जो नहीं रहेंगे, तो संस्कृति और परंपरा का नाश होगा. उससे क्या होगा? इररिलीजन, अधर्म बढ़ेगा. अधर्म बढ़ेगा तो नारी का शोषण होगा. नारी का शोषण हुआ तो क्या होगा? अनवांटेड प्रोजेनी, अनवांटेड पॉपुलेशन. अनवांटेड का मतलब ही क्या है? उसके ऊपर ध्यान देने वाला कोई नहीं देगा. सो द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन बिकम्स अ वेरी अधर्मिक, irreligious and not a healthy society. It's not good for a healthy society. और चाणक्य पंडित कहते हैं कि women, नारी जो है वो less intelligent है. They are not trustworthy. They are not trustworthy and they are very gullible. They are very vulnerable. and they are prone to degradation. Like you can trick a lady very easily. वो पढ़ जात मतलब हाँ she is very gullible. This is Chanakya Pandit saying. So trustworthy, see, women cannot keep anything to themselves. सबसे ज़्यादा गॉसिप लेडीज कंपार्टमेंट में ही होता है, सबसे ज़्यादा झगड़ा भी लेडीज कंपार्टमेंट में ही होता है कि नहीं? जेंट्स कंपार्टमेंट में इतना नहीं होता है. I mean, I've been traveling for 30-35 years. गोइंग टू विराट ट्रेन टिपिकली बहुत झगड़ा होता है. So they are not trustworthy in the sense we have all heard this, hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. तो दोनों end है. She can be as lovable and as like Yashoda Mayu, and when women are scorned, we can go to what extent we see in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj and his wives. एक पत्नी को बच्चा हो गया, बाकी के जो सफर तो वो वाइफ्स थी, they became so jealous that they killed the child by administering poison to him. So both ends it can be. वो जो spectrum है ना वो काफी बड़ा है. So I mean so this is what Chanakya Pandit says. So what happens is the women are not protected, means all these things happen. Varna Sankara, that also Arjuna says in this fourth argument. Varnashram system is a systematic division of society so that everyone who is placed according to your Varna can progress spiritually. और ये system बनाया किसने है? कृष्णा ने ही बनाया. He says in the 4th chapter ना चातुर्वर्ण्य माया सृष्टि गुण कर्म विभागश. It is never janma karma. It is guna based on your guna and based on your karma. So we have 4 social and 4 spiritual divisions. Social में आता है ब्राह्मणा, क्षत्रिया, वैश्य, शूद्रा, and spiritual में सन्यासी, वानप्रस्थ, grihastha and brahmachari. So these are a set systems which enable a person to progress spiritually. तो वर्णाश्रम धर्म का मूल reason or the reason why it was set is to progress spiritually, to move on the path of spirituality to Krishna. और इसका अगर डिस्ट्रक्शन हो गया, वर्ण संकर ही हो गया, तो क्या कहते हैं? Again Arjuna is saying there is risk of war and pestilence. अगर वर्ण संकरा हो गया, अगर वर्णाश्रम सिस्टम नहीं सही से पाला गया, तो सारे जो फैमिली ट्रेडिशन है, सारे डायनेस्टी, कुल का नाश होता है. The entire dynasty gets destroyed. So if dynasty gets destroyed, again all those things, there will be no one to look up to. कुछ नहीं रहेगा. So that is why whole family and ancestors fall down. क्यों? क्योंकि वो भी reason अर्जुन बता रहे, पिंडदान देने वाला कोई नहीं होता. How many of you believe in पिंडदान? अमावास्या को करते हैं ना हम लोग. सर्वपितृ अमावास्या क्या है? So there is a system. अब कहते हैं अगर कौवे के खिलाए तो ऊपर वाले को कैसे पहुंचेगा? No, all these foolish reasons. तो अगर हम बोलते हैं मोबाइल फोन यूज करते हैं हम सब, किसी को दिखाई देता है क्या? There is a system. how टेलीकम्युनिकेशन कैसे होता है? So Pindadan is also a set system where your forefathers who have not or who are in a very not in a very pleasant situation after death, they can be liberated. Because Pindadan में क्या होता है? You offer your prayers or your worship to Lord Vishnu. You offer the bhoga to Lord Vishnu, or that is given as Pindada. So it's Mahaprasad basically that you are feeding your ancestors. So why did they not get liberated? Why there is a doubt? Pindada, so that is what this one Arjuna is saying. If the family is destroyed, there is nobody to give Pindada to ancestors, and they will rot. They will rot in hell. So I don't want to indulge in this warfare. और अर्जुना he says, see, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं ये मनगढ़ंत है, मैं अपने I'm making it. He uses the word Anushushruma. Means I have heard from my gurus. I have heard from my elders. It is not मेरा बनाया हुआ या मेरा काल्पनिक ये नहीं है, मैंने सुना है. So there also he is giving an argument that see, I am following my elders. उन्होंने कहा है, इसके लिए मैं बता रहा हूँ, मेरी अपनी सोच नहीं है ये. So this is what Arjuna is giving a argument of not fighting. Now let's discuss the role of elders and why this Varnashrama is very important. Its basic principle, at the basic principle, Varnashrama हमारी spiritual progress के लिए towards Krishna. और उसमें जो elders हैं, हमारे जो पिता, what you say your elders जो हैं, बुजुर्ग जो हैं, उनका रोल क्या है? They have a responsibility of maintaining purificatory संस्कारास. सबको पता है 16 संस्कार होते हैं. There are 16 संस्कारास right from conception in the womb till your tomb. So from womb to tomb, 16 संस्कारास are there. अच्छे बच्चे कैसे मतलब वो अच्छे बच्चे को कैसे अट्रैक्ट करना है. सो गर्भाधान संस्कार है, सीमंत है, विवाह संस्कार है, नामकरण संस्कार है, फिर वो जन्म क्या बोलते हैं उपनयन संस्कार. So these are all sanskaras that are mentioned in the scriptures for your spiritual progress. तो ये कौन संभालेगा? ये हमारे जो elders हैं in the family. They are responsible for maintaining these traditions. Good population. अगर संस्कारस maintained है, अगर हमारे family system सही है, तो जो बच्चे ऐसे घर में जो those who are born and brought up in such a good family, they will become responsible citizens. हम देखते हैं ना, अगर बच्चों को काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्यार मिला है, काफ़ी ज़्यादा उनका पालन पोषण हो रहा है बचपन में, तो आगे जाके जब वो बड़े होते हैं, so they become extremely responsible and good citizens. And good citizens means good governance, good state, good country, a very progressive country. तो देश के लिए चाहिए कि हमारे जो यंग जनरेशन है उनको हम अच्छे संस्कार दें. और वो कौन देगा? माता पिता देंगे, जो नाना नानी है, दादा दादी है, जो एल्डर्स हैं, उनसे ही तो वो ट्रेडिशन आएगा. So maintaining a good population requires a foundation, a good foundation of family system and values. Now, again, I'm coming to a very controversial point. How to maintain a good population? The responsibility is entirely on the chastity of its women. If a woman is chaste, then the population, the children will be good. It will help in bringing up a good population. तो जनरेशन जो है उसकी ऐसा नहीं कि पिता के ऊपर जिम्मेदारी नहीं है, बट इफ अ वुमन इज chaste and she takes care of her children, then it will be a good population that will be upbrought. अब chastity, that's entirely a different topic. But I'll just narrate one story. All of you must have heard this story. It's about a woman जो उसके पति जो थे, in my class I would have mentioned this. उनके पति जो थे वो he was leprosy, उनको कुष्ठ रोग हुआ था और ऐसा था कि बहुत ही दीन अवस्था में थे, पर वो आदमी इतना he was so much into sense gratification कि वो उनकी एक he was in love with the prostitute and वो रोज चाहते थे कि उसके यहाँ जाए for the sense gratification, and who would carry him, his wife would carry him, क्योंकि वो चल नहीं पाते थे, उनकी अवस्था इतनी बुरी थी, फिर भी इंद्र तृप्ति की इतनी कामना थी उनके हृदय में कि वो उनकी वाइफ को कहती थी कि मुझे वहाँ ले जाओ, और वाइफ would do that. This is mentioned in the scriptures, it is not an imaginary story. And ऐसे जाते वक्त एक दिन क्या हुआ, तो she would carry him on his back. तो जाते वक्त उनके रास्ते में एक महर्षि थे जो तपस्वी थे, वो तपस कर रहे थे और रात के टाइम में ये वाइफ उसको लेके जा रही है। तो जाते जाते ये जो आदमी उसके पीठ पे जो था उसका पैर ये ऋषि के ऊपर लग गया, एंड द ऋषि वाज टेकन आउट ऑफ हिज मेडिटेशन एंड ही सीज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग। तो उसको इतना वो क्या बोलते हैं, ही बिकम सो शॉक कि क्या अवस्था है ये, कि खुद की पत्नी लेके जा रहे एंड ही कर्सेस कि तुम कल की सुबह, मतलब जो आदमी है उसको कहता है कि तुम कल की सुबह नहीं देखोगे, you will die before tomorrow sunrise, and the wife says if that is so, the sun will not rise tomorrow. And her chastity is so, she's so chaste that the sun doesn't rise the next day. और अगर सूर्योदय नहीं हुआ तो what will happen? हाहाकार मच जाएंगे ना सारे, और वही हुआ। अभी करे क्या? तो everyone goes and tells this woman, you take back your words, the son has to die. She says no, I won't, my husband will die. So then वो ऋषि के पास जाते हैं, तो कहते मैंने तो बोल दिया ना, आप क्या करें? So they come to a solution. they तब भगवान के पास जाते हैं, वो सब होता है और इसका ये solution निकलता है कि वो मर तो जाता है पर दूसरे क्षण उसे जीवित भी करते हैं। तो the Rishi's curse is also fulfilled and she is also not deprived of her husband. So the chastity is very important quality of a woman to ensure that the population is good. हमने माता अनुसुईया का भी तो कहानी सुनी होगी, how chaste she was. There are 7 chaste women mentioned in the scriptures, and surprisingly, Mandodari is one of them. Mandodari, जो रावण की पत्नी है, she is one of the 7 most chaste women. Another one is Gandhari. Can you imagine? So there are chastity of a woman, I'm almost done, is very important. Then Arjuna mentions that community services will be disrupted. Community services क्या है? We all know ना, जो अन्नदान है या आश्रम्स बनाते, जो ट्रैवलर्स के लिए अतिथि गृह सब बनाते, that will be destroyed if family is destroyed. And if this happens, Arjuna says there will be total chaos and complete disruption of the society. Everything will be stopped. So he doesn't want to fight. And the fifth reason, which is indecision, it's in the second chapter, 6th verse, that we'll discuss when we go to the second chapter. So conclusion is that Arjuna has refused to fight. And the last verse, he says, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra, saying this, Arjuna has put down his Gandiva and he has declared that he will not fight. So this is where we are stopping. One last point that I want to discuss is of Prayashchitta. We all have heard Prayashchitta. So that is atonement. You do some sin or you do a wrongdoing and you atone for it. You repent it and you correct it. So it's a correction mode. So here, when Arjuna is arguing this, the element of a principle of Prayashchitta is also mentioned here. So we'll discuss that some other time. So you're clear with the 5 reasons? Let's just recap. First is compassion. Second is, third is sinful reactions. Fourth is destruction of family. And the fifth is indecision, which is in the second chapter. So we'll stop here because there is a play. Any questions or any comments? Should we take a question or two? Any questions, any comments? Yes, Pravija. Do you have a mic?
साइड जाने साइड जाना Hello. Hare Krishna. But one question always bothered me. Bothers is this: that Dhritarashtra was irreligious. That is why his family got destroyed, okay, killed. But Krishna, who wanted to establish dharma, ultimately got cursed from the life and lost it. Krishna, at the end of Mahabharata, got cursed from the Nari, that is, family will be destroyed. So, even if you are doing the work of Dharma, what is the end result? That is the work is and second. And second point is, now here Arjuna says that religion means progress, we reach our address, and world center will be there.
Varna Sankara.
So, is not Arjuna proved right in the long run? We have got, after all, Kali Yuga after that. So, this is something which, yes, in the short run, the Pandava won, okay. But Pandava's grandson got the curse. And he had to die, but he got the Bhagavata, that is okay. But ultimately, Kali Yuga came. So otherwise, again, we are prevailed. See, so Dharma was very short period. Even if Krishna sacrificed so much, he had so much. So that is my view.
Your first question is, Krishna also got cursed.
He was talking about Dharma.
Yeah, he was talking about Dharma, he got cursed. Prabhuji, yes, he did get cursed. But the Bhagavata mentions, I'm talking purely on the मतलब आधार मेरा जो मैंने सुना है ये और जो मैंने समझा है भागवतम के सो भागवतम में कहते हैं कि कृष्णा का जो परिवार था वो कोई साधारण परिवार नहीं था. नाउ everyone of his family members had to go back to Godhead.
We all have to go back to God and
Back to
one life or after million life.
But I'm talking about Krishna's family. So if you read the 10th, मतलब जो भागवतम में ऐसे बताया है कि कृष्णा के जो परिवार थे, it was more than हर वाइफ से उनको 10 बच्चे हुए, 10 पुत्र हुए, एक पुत्री. वो हर 10 पुत्र में 10 पुत्र हो गए. Every son of Krishna gave birth to 10 sons. तब imagine कीजिए 16,108 wives, every wife giving birth to 10 children, every children giving birth to 10 children. Population क्या हो गया? Forget about population. All these people were Krishna's people and they had to go back to Godhead. And they were so powerful, nobody could kill them. They were invincible. So कौन उनको मारेगा? Who would destroy them? They had to fight amongst themselves to get destroyed. No, but see that appearance and Krishna had to fulfill Gandhari's cause also. So, Prabhu, I would request you read that chapter where Krishna's family is getting in Bhagavatam. Your doubts will be clear. I'm very sure because Prabhupada has mentioned it very clearly. So, my humble request to you would be to read that Bhagavatam. And the second question was end result. Kali Yuga is only 4,32,000 years. Satya Yuga is 4 times that.
तो बातें हैं अभी तो
नहीं पहले सत्य युग से हम कलयुग में आ गए ना.
What I wanted to say is that Mahabharata become a perpetual thing. Actually, in our life, we are always
Yes.
every day your Mahabharata is going on.
That is why we have to take shelter of Bhagavad Gita to face the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.